No!
How about this? The U.S. Park Police are...
Start by storming Bracket!
Raya and the Last Dragon is currently in theaters and also streaming on Disney Plus. But at this time, I believe it's the premiere access where it's like $30. Yeah, no, I didn't do that. I went to see it in theaters. This was a movie, I'll be honest, I had no idea what it was about at all. And per usual, for those of you that are subscribed to my channel, you guys know it. Since the pandemic started, that's how I've been viewing movies for the most part, where I'll say, oh, look at the title, look at the actors. That's it. I'll see the movie. And this is no exception. I mean, I try to keep up with Disney movies the same way that, most people do. But for me, Raya and the Last Dragon, I remember hearing the title and saying, oh, is it like How to Train Your Dragon? And after watching the movie, it's not quite like that. What I will say right off the bat is this is a movie that's backed up in terms of filmmaking very much so well. I really dug the animation. I mean, it's a clear positive. I mean, Disney is always really good in terms of animation. They are always at the forefront of that, and it's cutting edge, honestly, because it almost feels like they did what they did with Toy Story 4, where they have it where they combine animation with, real life footage. That's what it felt like a lot of times, which I thought was really effective. The score by James Newton Howard is also really strong. Usually Disney scores I find to be kind of forgettable, but this is definitely one of the better ones. I actually really dug it, and I thought there were a lot of scenes that were really enhanced by it particularly. So I thought that was really good. The voice acting I also thought was really good. The one character of Last Dragon, I honestly was like, where have I heard this before? Like, where have I heard this actress before? I feel like I've heard her. At first I was thinking Tiffany Haddish, don't ask me why, but then I realized it was Awkwafina. When I saw the credits, I was like, oh, that's why. Wrong comedian. So, but I thought Awkwafina was really good. I liked the overall production design too. I thought that was really effective at conveying the whole, dusty environment, almost Mad Max-esque. But that's honestly where the positives end for me. And it's not necessarily like this movie's bad. It's just a very mixed movie. The movie starts off kind of slow, and I can appreciate slow storytelling, but the problem is it's slow storytelling focusing on a lot of, let's face it, cliches of the Disney genre. And yes, Disney pretty much has their own genre at this point. You have characters that you've seen before that are dealing with situations that we've seen before in predictable fashion. We also have it where, of course, the dialogue at times is a bit on the nose or expository dialogue heavy, unfortunately. There were a lot of times where I just kind of was like, just give us the visuals. We can figure it out. I get it that it's a film geared towards children, but I just wanted that whole visual experience, because I think especially after seeing the short that played right before Raya and the Last Dragon, I was like, maybe this is a film that will be kind of like this short film. Because the short film that played before this was no dialogue whatsoever, but you understood it because of the visuals. And it was great. But when you actually watch Raya and the Last Dragon, which comes after that, it's not really like that. There are some instances where it is, and when it is, it feels very fresh and invigorating. I get it that it's one of those things where you kind of have to, I don't want to say dumb it down because that sounds pretentious, but I get it that you have to kind of make it more mainstream. But I don't know. I just kind of wish that they went about it a bit different, because a lot of times it just came off cliche. The other thing is, speaking of cliche, is the villain. You've seen this villain multiple times before. And I think that's one of the other big things, is that it kind of took me out because I was able to predict what the villain was going to do whenever. It was one of those situations where even the first time, even before they revealed who the villain was, when the film first began, I knew, I was like, something's off. She's probably a villain. And then sure enough, she was. The other thing is that I really did not like the ending. That was something I really was like, you've got to be kidding me. Because I probably would have given the movie a 3 out of 5 up until then. I probably would have given a passing rating and just said, I'll forget about this movie in a week. But the ending is something that really frustrated me, because right before the ending, Disney actually went for it. They did something that I thought was like, holy cow. It was almost like Game of Thrones-esque, not gonna lie. And I was like, wow. And then they did something else with other characters. And I was like, oh my goodness, okay. And then in the back of my mind, I was like, this isn't gonna be permanent. They're probably gonna bring him back. Again, not spoiling anything, but they're probably gonna bring him back. And I was like, I hope in the back of my mind I'm wrong. And sure enough, the back of my mind was right. They brought everyone back. And the message of the film overall is that we can all get along. Again, it's an oversimplification right now, but I'm not going to spoil anything. But it's just not the reality. You know, obviously, I wish that was the case, but it's just not the reality. And I get it that obviously people watch movies to be entertained and to be taken out of the real world. But I don't know. I just couldn't help but think about, like, the real world and how, like, it is, especially how it is today, and be like, man, but that's not the reality. You know, we kind of actually need to have it where, you know, there's things that get fixed, not necessarily where one little thing happens and then everyone's fine. I don't know. For me, it just kind of took me out, especially by the end. But again, I get why so many people like this movie. I understand why it has like a 99 on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, it is a beautiful looking film. It does have really good filmmaking. There's no question about that. It's just the story, plot, characters, ending that really just didn't do it for me. And honestly, that's why Raya and the Last Dragon, it's an odd rating for me for sure, but that's why Raya and the Last Dragon, I'll be giving a 2.75 out of 5-star rating. So it just misses the mark of a passing rating. It's a film that, again, I respect for its own merits, but other than that, I'm not going to remember this in a week. But guys, I will say this, I probably will be listening to James Newton Howard's score multiple times because it really is good. But anyways, guys, what did you think about Raya and the Last Dragon? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, don't forget the subscription, notification bell, and I'll get you guys out there.